The transforming potential of higher education is what has drew me to this route. According to Pfeiffer, the most obvious investment we can make for social mobility in this country is education. Rutgers provided me with every opportunity, and I am extremely motivated to provide others with the same opportunities. As she leads Rutgers' efforts to secure critical funding and shape higher education policy in Trenton, New Jersey, and Washington, D.C., Pfeiffer, who was named Senior Vice President for Government Relations by President Jonathan Holloway, said the lessons she learned as a Scarlet Knight will continue to serve her well. Pfeiffer dedicated her 27-year career to Rutgers' Office of Federal Relations in Washington, where she began as a staff assistant barely a year after the office opened and rose to director in 2004 before taking on her new position in July. In order to advance school priorities and raise Rutgers' reputation, her D.C. team, now headed by Ian Grubman and Samantha Booth, developed relationships with important federal lawmakers by working closely with administrators, faculty, staff, and students throughout the university. She stated that she intends to adopt a similar strategy while managing Rutgers' Trenton office. It is about putting what Rutgers offers in front of all of our policymakers, by connecting them directly to people and programs that make this university tick, she said. Our job is to let our policymakers witness firsthand the transformative power of Rutgers University's higher education and remind them that this is what we're about every single day, regardless of the global moment. Delivering New Jersey blueberries to every New Jersey congressional office on the Hill is one way to demonstrate Rutgers' agricultural achievements and sometimes convey that message. At other times, it asks for bringing Rutgers students to Washington by train to discuss how Pell Grants enabled their undergraduate education, or it calls for inviting lawmakers to campus to showcase a new building. The university has shown success with Pfeiffer's strategies. Under her direction, Rutgers researchers were granted $514 million in government funding in the fiscal year 2023, and students at Rutgers got $485 million in federal financial aid during the 2022-2023 academic year. In recognition of her guidance and assistance to federal relations colleagues from throughout the Association of American Universities membership, Pfeiffer was chosen as the inaugural recipient of the Association of American Universities Ripple Effect Award. She is highly respected in the higher education community for her leadership and knowledge. Born in Williamstown, New Jersey, to working-class parents, Pfeiffer was raised in a household that emphasized education and civic involvement. She graduated with a bachelor's degree in political science and French from Rutgers in 1995, and this spring commemorates her 30th anniversary as an alumna. When examining bills that will impact higher education generally or Rutgers specifically, Pfeiffer said her early years spent training as a gymnast, resident advisor, a position that allowed her to afford living on campus, and student government member enable her to empathize with students, staff, and faculty. I'm wondering what this will actually imply on campus. I can imagine the people it will affect and the potential complexity of implementation, she remarked. And I believe it simply improves my performance at work. Furthermore, Pfeiffer stated that she will always remember the financial difficulties she encountered while attending college, regardless of how much time has gone by since her undergraduate years. Her initiatives to expand students' access to Rutgers and public sector internships that foster job development are motivated by those experiences. In reality, Pfeiffer would not have been able to accept a White House job with the Domestic Policy Council that launched her career in Washington, D.C., if it weren't for a string of fortunate events at Rutgers, including a Maryland friend who offered her a free place for the summer. I was just extremely fortunate. A young person without resources shouldn't have to rely on luck to get to Washington, said Pfeiffer, who co-founded the Rutgers Eagleton Washington Internship Award program in 2016 and currently leads the Rutgers Scarlet Service program, for which she spearheaded the creation of the RSSDC component in Washington, D.C., in 2023. To lessen the financial strain of working as an intern for a government or nonprofit organization in Washington, both positions offer stipends. Inspired by Rutgers President Jonathan Holloway's public service commitments, the Scarlet Service program offers 24 interns free lodging and civic education every summer in our nation's capital. Pfeiffer stated, I believe that what we're doing here is taking away some of the opportunity and establishing those clear pathways and opportunities for students regardless of their socioeconomic background. In addition to connecting students with government and nonprofit jobs, she stated that Scarlet Service aims to challenge students to step outside of their comfort zones and develop into more civic-minded individuals who are willing to resolve conflicts. She intends to keep growing the program with Trenton government entities. Peter J. McDonough Jr., who retired in July, is replaced by Pfeiffer. Having served at the highest levels of both the state and federal government, McDonough used his connections in Trenton to help lead the successful integration of Rutgers with the former University of Medicine and Dentistry of New Jersey and to improve the university's standing with state legislators during his tenure. Trenton wasn't given enough consideration when I first started at Rutgers. They are now our partner, Pfeiffer added. Pete has significantly contributed to Rutgers' standing as a state problem solver. In order to preserve Trenton's steadfast support and regard for Rutgers, Pfeiffer intends to carry on McDonough's tradition of working across party lines. She intends to establish new collaborations and raise the university's profile with legislators in the state capitol by working with her Rutgers team in Trenton, which is managed by George LeBlanc and Jean Lepore. This will help highlight the myriad ways Rutgers contributes to the common good.